Welcome back to Buzz TV and Legacy of Leaders. I'm Jack Sears, your host. When we get together, we visit with local leaders of business, industry, and nonprofit to talk about leadership, to talk about community service, to talk about innovation. And today, we've got a panel joining us for the show. Please welcome John Miller, Nelson Bradshaw, and Mac Holley to the show.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Good. So, the topic today, gentlemen, is on leadership and the role of business, if it has a role, in community service. And so the first question of the day is to you, John. Tell us about your business and how do you see community service in that aspect too?
Thanks, Jack. It's great to be here. Rock Solid Law and Title is a Beaches law firm that helps small businesses, that helps individuals with their legacy and wealth planning, and closes real estate professionally and on time. So I'm a preacher's kid, and I've always felt that community involvement and charity are really important to the ministry of Rock Solid Law and Title, which is what I call it. Dad was amazing, but I didn't get a lot of business sense, but I got a lot of ethical guidance.
Okay.
So we feel like we really want to be involved in the community. And I was named Small Business Leader of the Year, and I was told it didn't have anything to do with being an attorney, but when they flipped the page from my 3 awards that I previously had, the next page was full of all the charitable work I'd done over the years, because I love Beaches Emergency Assistance Ministry, working with the business groups in town, working with housing, all those sorts of issues. Very near and dear to me, and fortunately I have a culture at my firm, I'd like to think I had something to do with building it, that we really enjoy community outreach as well and love working with the charity. So I think it's absolutely essential, and I'll tell you, as a business owner, it comes back tenfold, because when you give, as you well know, when you give to the community, and you're authentic, the community gets that. I have a little double bonus because I'm the lead singer of a band that's been around since the 80s. So I founded the Jacksonville Beach Pier Dance years ago, which collects toys and food at Christmas time for Beaches Emergency Assistance Ministry. So that's been a wonderful outreach for me as well.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Thanks, man.
Great, great. Mac, Heritage Capital, thoughts?
Well, Heritage Capital Group is a mergers and acquisition firm. We specialize in helping owners sell their business when they're ready to exit, or owners that want to grow their business through acquisitions. We help them do that and consult to improve the value of the company to reach that ultimate goal.
Okay.
Jack, I would tell you, as far as community service goes, I think any successful community in this country has got to have a strong business background, support from community service. Personally, my dad was a pediatrician. He worked all the time. My mom was not super involved in the community. But when I was in high school, somebody approached me about getting into the Key Club, which was a youth organization spun out of Kiwanis. And that was sort of my first touch on that, and I really embraced that. We did a lot of community work, a lot of community projects, fundraising. Got out of college, moved to Miami, didn't know anybody, was working for a bank there, and somebody got me into the JCs.
Okay.
Similar, you probably know the JCs, do great community work. And so what I began to learn is that it's wonderful for building personal relationships. It's wonderful to give back to the community. It sort of just sows the seeds in young people. And from then on, I've always felt personally rewarded to be able to give back. You and I have the Boy Scout thing in common. I've spent a lot of my personal time. I was an Eagle Scout, but I really enjoyed supporting and giving back to the scouting community, touching our youth. So it's been a very important part of my personal life. I think it's really needed. Every strong community's got to have good business support.
Yeah, agree. Totally. Great. Well, thank you. Appreciate you sharing that. Nelson, I've known you in a previous life.
Certainly.
And I know how you're going to answer this. Tell us.
Well, with Farther now, a financial services firm, we're still fairly new, so really it's more a matter of the folks. We have 4 or 5 folks in the market and what they're doing in the market. And, most of my career was as a banker, and bankers just sort of by their nature are we need strong communities to have strong businesses, and part of that is you got to have the social fabric support there. And so we've always looked at as an industry to make sure that we're participating in helping those. And so I'm routinely on 4 or 5 boards at one time. I tried to rotate off after 5 or 6 years. They've sort of gotten out of me what I can give, but and do something else out there. But I find now, though, as my career is sort of on the downside in terms of being out there, that I'm spending more and more time with those that I enjoy. And as both of these folks have said, the relationships you build out of that end up helping you down the road business-wide as well.
Sure. Yeah, I think all of you know my background in nonprofit, and you're right about the relationships. Nelson, Mac, John, when you are passionate about a mission to help other people, you tend to align yourself with similar folks, right? Mm-hmm. And you just can't help but building a relationship, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
What is your perspective looking at business today? Do you think that the young people, or even just not the young people necessarily, but the employees in general, are they finding a need, a want, a desire to engage outside of the office in community service? Are you finding that?
I think they do. And we all generalize about the generations that come after us, right?
Yeah.
And too broadly. But I know that I have some young people that are in our firm that are very engaged and have very large community hearts. And I enjoy, candidly, being around them and taking energy from them and the things that they enjoy to do. So I do think that that's something that our generation is passing on to the next one.
Oh, excellent. Mac, what do you think?
I see, I would agree with John at a high level, but I do see, when you come right out of college or you got your job there, you're so focused on your job sometimes you tend not to make personal time to do that. And so I think as a business leader in a company, we should encourage, and we do try to encourage. Look, I always say, whatever your passion is, back to what you just said, whatever you want to help, is it education, is it the homeless, is it, children with medical needs, find what you like to do and dedicate an hour a week. It's fine with us. Take your time off. You can leave work early. Go do what you need to do.
That's great.
An hour or two a week and try to invest in the community. And I said it'll be rewarding. Not only are you helping that organization, but you're going to meet people.
Right.
You're going to expand your network. You're going to build personal relationships outside of the office. That's good for our firm. It's good for you personally. So sometimes you have to give them a little nudge. Some people are just naturally like that. They want to do that. But I think you just make them feel comfortable, and then they don't feel like they're leaving work early to go something that we're not comfortable with in the community.
No, perfect. All right, Nelson, you get the final word on this one.
Well, I have a 31-year-old son and a 28-year-old daughter, and both of them I've sort of watched that they were actually at an earlier age more interested, but they want to be involved in what they want to be involved in. And sort of back in the era that we sort of grew up in, it was more the company tell you what you need to be involved in. So
that's right.
You're seeing a lot of companies now that will give so many hours a month, and they'll let you pick. And so we're seeing them get more involved because they're doing what they want to do versus what the owners of the company are telling them to do.
Great. Gents, I got to tell you, this has been excellent food for thought on our show today, and appreciate you taking the time to join us and giving your perspective and thoughts on this. If we wanted to learn more about your business, John, how would we connect?
Thanks, Jack. Come see us in Ponte Vedra or go online at www.rocksolidlaw.com.
Excellent. Mac?
Jack, if you want to find out more about Heritage Capital or myself, go to heritagecapitalgroup.com. My bio's there, my contact info there, and a good summary of the company and what we do.
All righty. Nelson?
At Farther Financial, it's farther.com. We'll take you farther financially, FARTHER.com, and then you can find everything you know about there. Great for business owners and helping them with their planning.
Yeah, excellent. Well, once again, thanks for joining us. Great panel discussion today. Well, folks, that's it. That's the time we have today for this episode of Legacy of Leaders, and it's been a good one. We've learned a lot about how business should and can connect with community service and to find that passion to help other people. If you'd like to learn more about what Nelson and Mac and John are doing in our community, as well as many other things that are happening, please be sure to watch this interview and other interviews at iwannabuzz.com. Until we get together next time, I'm Jack Sears, your host, wishing you a great day, stay healthy, and remember, treat each other the way you'd like to be treated.